Alright, we're back with VCT China. We missed a pistol because I had some stuff on screen anyway, so you didn't miss too much. You basically got the highlights. Wolves are playing on defense. They pushed up in mids. All Gamers took all of the space. YU fought them, got the first kill. And then All Gamers went for a really nice A split with a Viper wall and then the Harbor wall, and Spring kind of got caught out. So every time at this time of the day.
第二分枪械优势来到 AG 这一边，2把燎拳，1把飞将和1把害灵，能远能近，但是 A 区的毒点
Wolves on Eco.
A 区5人
All
毒点
5 players gonna be pushing A main.
好在是个
LB was the only one sort of prodding for it. I think he even like tried to grab the orb.
真的做了
just
很
TPs
多的
out.
准备啊，他们是给了一个前点的舌吻加上雷击剑，这个就是防你前压的。但其实狼队也很聪明，第二时
Oh my
间
god, there's so many people facing.
我有长枪，有优势，但 DLB 这边被打得很残，就1滴血。
可以考虑捡包走。
How many of you managed to get just swords for now? And a lot of damage onto Del B is 1 HP. But whilst all this was happening, it's a good call from All Gamers. Spitfires were a really good map last week against DRG. They're taking all the space, camera in a good spot to watch for tunnel.
因为他们有一个人是没有起到枪。
So all these guys are protected, the site's clear, you got the Cypher watching towards CT, and then you got the camera that's going to be watching towards tunnel. Considering Spitfire's just as a marshal here, like him dying with it isn't too much of an issue. Like the trips here to watch, all of the combat's going to be heard. Good trade at least. Hopefully taking out a Bulldog for the bonus is really nice for Wolves.
这边也不急，给个独木，慢慢来。
Get one more kill if you're Wolves, and I think you're good. But are they just saving with the Bulldog? The time is getting pretty low. Like our exit frags at least would be good.
想去下枪，阿罗巴被架住 ，Cold Face 也没有保的必要啊。
Yeah, just throwing himself into the spike is good. You don't need to be saving a Bulldog when you got a full buy coming up. Jimmy didn't get an extra one. I would have made it a really good eco with Del B being 1 HP.
出心裁的5个人，谁想得到？但是他没有想到的是，在前面架枪的是个 DLB 直接就溜了，他不给你去造击杀的机会。
虽然都是标配，对吧？真的架不住人多，这拉出去看到5个人 ，DLB 应该是吓了一跳。
Alright, so full buy now. Any ultimates really that close? Reckoning's not too far away.
枪的条件可能也会更加的大一些，或者说难一些。
Free away in that point.
先去垫一下半线吧，管道目前看来还是会通过技能 combo。
Oh, it's great combo actually. Good read on where Spitfires was going to be. I didn't think it was going to get the kill initially just because it looked like it was a little bit off, but it was the decay of the Viper Snakebite that actually got the kill in the end.
是把半线的主人打掉，也是解决半线的一种办法。
是。
Nice that it ended up working out. And I think like it does go to show that like Wolves, some of the plays that they have are really nice. I think some of the creativity and some of the calling that they did at kickoff looked a little bit better than it does now, to be brutally honest. But like maps like Split for Wolves were phenomenal with some of the ways that they were playing around the map. Like they were just so much better than Tech were.
位置已经站了2个回合了，非常的保守。他包点相当于是放给你的。
But for wait, what was the other map? Was it Bind?
木门已经摸上来了，要进行一波对枪，但枪
Bind and Lotus.
雷击看一下。
I mean, they could have definitely won Bind.
躲子弹 ，YU 想要铺展枪线，点了一个不请自来。 点了一个
I think it's good too because you get a fairly easy kill and it's maybe going to put Spitfires off for pushing this. We already highlighted in like the pre-show like how important this pressure that Spitfires is putting up is.
位置非常多的技能飞过来，好多技能全摆，什么也看不见。
进攻也有隔断，但是 Bond 敲掉了克里斯，并且 Monk 很神秘，他全程
these
静音，这一
executes
波是大
so far. It's still early days, but like the timings of these splits have been pretty decent from All Gamers. And maybe the positioning from Wolves isn't as good as it could be. You know that there's one behind. How much do you deal with it? He's got the Reckoning too as well, which makes this retake incredibly difficult. But Spring's like gonna outpace it anyway. Monk is still just getting more with these kills with the Sheriff. But I mean, for a bonus for All Gamers, a plant and 3 kills is great. Using the Reckoning is a bit of a shame, but I think when it comes online that early, it's worthwhile doing.
这个 combo 一直 这个雷击剑啊
，Spitfire 是愣了1秒钟，就犹豫了这1秒钟，然后人就没了。
对他看到蛇纹，好像感觉大势。
So was it Wolves versus Wargamers?
付出了一些代价的，下一轮的压力会相应加大。
versus BLG.
不得不说 ，Monk 这个爆拳来的是真的快啊。那下了狼队3把枪之后，你可以看到狼队的经济已经着力建筑了，1把鬼魅，1把数位，2把数位。是
这样的混起，其实在正面还是得看精准的命中率，但他们的选手枪法实力还挺到位的。
Again, another like A split. Again, fucking Spring is not letting Spitfires try and take the space.
Spitfires 在2楼已经。这个倒霉2次了，
而且 A 场也在顶哦，这一波是
It's a good flash, but Aluba, like this is a good adjustment from Wolves if you know that they're sort of coming in mainly from this. You can do it on Ascent as well. A main if they come through tree, just trying to get into A main and like hunker down there, it's good. Both the players, however, do go down. You got this late lurk here too, which they might not expect because of how aggressive they were early. Oh man, great round from Sword9. I think that's Wolves maybe just a bit. Alright, we pushed, we got the Cypher, nobody else is going to lurk a pole surely. But with all of the chaos going on, Sword9 makes a good point to sort of chase up on those players. Be good timing on them. Always risky when your Sova goes for a lurk.
可能刚才打58的时候，视角有没有可能瞥到，也不太确定啊。
Good shots from Aluba.
确实，在枪法角逐上 ，Sword9 也是占据了上风。
I mean, all gamers are shooting right now.
是，那现在狼队就只能进行一波混起。
This is a team that like has a lot of like good support players. And I think one of the critical things I've had with all gamers is like you don't have like a stew, you don't have like an RB, one of those players that could just have like a lights out round that could bring you back. Now, all your players are good, but if you've got Spitfires playing on the duelist and Delby on the Sentinel, it feels that both those players can't really have the same like individual impact, which I think is what we saw on like stuff like Icebox and stuff for all gamers. Just when they needed a clutch, they couldn't really get one. I'd probably say the same for Wolves though, but Wolves have that power in droves, like why you can absolutely clutch out crazy rounds. Spring was amazing at kickoff, but they've been fairly quiet so far this stage. And then obviously like Aluba, 30 bombs on controller, but realistically it shouldn't be up to him to get those kills, I don't think. In the Tito.
DLB 给了一个锚点，他是可以立马来到 A 点的，但是这个爆能器好像往 B 点去了。
So it's just an Aldra, and it's not even really a fake because they are going over in this direction. Aluba tries to get a timing on people rotating, but Bun's aware just how open it is.
这个爆能器可以成功的安置。 是的，3打4的一波回防，其实更多的可能是要下枪了。
You got the Cypher sort of playing here, just watching for any pushes. Brave to be taking those fights when you sort of missed the first few shots against YU, but the better gun wins out.
确实有点难为了，这个距离正义有点难跟这个狂徒去对枪。
冷于升级的一把狂徒。
Also much more like narrow walls here.
后点是战术监控在看啊。 那这一波如果两个人抱团打被战术监控看到的话
But I guess this wall's actually quite nice because it gives you a little bit of a pocket. Like you can sit in here in A main, and if they try to flash and stuff, you've got a wall to maybe like play around and get out with. This is Wolves again going for a call to try and like flank and get some exit frags. Fairly similar to like the round after pistol. I can't help but feel like that could be worrying if we see Wolves ecoing, and that's the constant plan is like when we have lower buy, we're going to try and flank behind them.
没错。
But there's not too much to go off yet.
狼队这一分的非常规战术其实也是稍有成效，但是后续确实无论是这一波断中，
How's Wolves and AG looking?
非常好的
Kind of expected,
因为枪械的劣势而
but it is Wolves
因为没
still
办法，
like
自己是一个存钱局
struggling.
械劣势的情况下，你只能进行一些非常。
But the Aaron AG's map pick, and the problem for Wolves a lot of the time has been just like map pull. Chug that snake bite for 8 main, Cascade. A lot of pressure here because you do have the dimensional drift and a Viper's Pit. So if you can get in onto site, it should be an easy plant and an easy like post position that all gamers can get into. Especially when you got Spring with the off. They're even going to dedicate the Hunter's Fury too. So they catch Spitfires that was playing sort of in top mid. They do get a ping actually onto Aluba, but he manages to get out. And there's the Viper's Pit. It's a little bit shallow, actually, but it does manage to sort of cover up just on this pixel of where the spike is. So just making as much space between the plant and actually the A main choke is good. Oh, I mean, that shot, if Spring hits it, that wins the round, potentially. Because there was no way the Sod9 was expecting a flank there, especially with an off. You get the Viper. Are they going to clear danger though where the Harbor is? They do. Actually, a really good retake. That was going to be hard for Wolves, especially with how much the all game is like dedicated to it. But their money is still fairly fine. And it might mean that, like, for example, Spring will be able to get the Operator. Maybe a bit of mismanagement there when you flank around with the off. Nobody's really in a position to pick it up, but I guess we'll see. The old Viper wall, I don't know if you could even really count it as old, because back when it was used, A main was a lot different than it is now. Because you had like the cave part. Because before, like, it used to be like this, right? So like this Viper wall, I think, is like... It's old because like these angles are old. But I've not really seen that many teams use it with like the new A main. Sod9 was an assistant coach, yeah. He was a player, then he was an assistant coach, and then he's a player again. But it sounds like that happens a little bit in China anyway. The sixth, like, sub effectively becomes an assistant coach, which I think is really good. Like, getting young players up on their game sense and thinking about the game a little bit more critically like that is good. Because I think some of the calling and some of the decisions that all gamers have made have been, like, fantastic. Every time we've seen Wolves like go for like a multi-kill, whether it's like YU or Luba, every time they've gone like, oh, that's a nice couple of kills, they always get traded out before they can like kind of run away with it. A lot of the time it's just all gamers ego peeking them and winning those duels. Like the one where Luba gets 2 here, then he gets peeked from this point. It wasn't like he was properly cleared, it was just... When I scrim Chinese teams, Sod9 helped me a lot for Chinese teams info and contact. Yeah, they just seem like a very they're just a good player and a personality in the scene. Alright, the op's now working, and they did manage to pick it up actually. For the site, it's the same for A main, it's different. Yeah, but I think it's like the A main part of it that makes it like a good choice at the moment. Or maybe just a bit of a underappreciated wall. And I mean, so long as you can still do it from A main at the start of a round, that you don't need to get into the choke. You know, like if the spawn doors are there, you can do that Viper wall from about here, I think. Like that's like A main now with a box. Because you don't want to have to get into here and then do a Viper wall. I don't like it when teams do that because it sort of gives the game away. Unless you're like default in there every round anyway, which I don't think they're realistically going to do that much as Viper on a Breeze.
YU 最近的状态有多么的稳定啊！他10场的0。
But this is a good comeback from Wolves. I was a little bit worried with how down and out of it DRG looked against all gamers' Breeze. But I think obviously that says more about DRG than it does all gamers. Like this series is probably one of the most important for Wolves to get right. When you think of the teams that they've played already, like they played Billy, won once, lost once. They lost to EDG in a very close series that they probably should have won. Then they play up against Tech, which, again, maybe a series that they should have won, but like very close to another team that's like hot on confidence. And then you lose to FBX. So this is like the easiest opponent I'd say that Wolves has had so far in China. But at the same time, it is an all gamers that did win last week. Maybe they won against a weak DRG side, so maybe it doesn't amount to much. But I think the way that all gamers played and the confidence that they've sort of built up between kickoff and stage 1 means that it's a team that's looking really sharp. You can just sort of tell that this is a squad that like believes in the systems that they've put together. You know? But all gamers had a timeout. Their buy isn't necessarily the best. It's a buy next. So they got a various amount of guns. Some good ultimates too, but if there's an opportunity to use them. Opening the door, putting a cove to try and let them out. Letting the Euro clone go first. It's a nice idea. A Monk again, that's like his third or fourth sheriff kill so far this map. Alright, Yu's clearing. 3 versus 3. And this Fury's used as well. Monk playing in a very different spot. He's even going to use the Reckoning too, so big ultimate's used in this Antico for Wolves. The Reckoning used again in a position where all gamers maybe can't get the most out of it. But it's like from Spitfires, especially because they have a rifle. Oh, I mean, it just catches Yu out. Neural theft here might be nice. It is. But this thrifty might be working. And again, like Spitfires gets a kill and resets. It's sort of like we saw from the DRG game. But it's just really good discipline. Like, all right, I've got my kill, I've got the neural theft, we've got information. Now we just need to play time in A main, and I'm going to help support this. And Plex clears him, so I mean that's impressive fighting. Hey Breeze. Maybe another situation, like, I don't know how much we should be critical of all gamers using some of these ultimates on ecos, or like lower buys. I mean, it's just 6 shots from Plex. Maybe these guys could peek together a bit more.
其实两支队伍的风格就是如此 ，AG 可能会更加偏向于运营和战术执行侧，然后他们选手的爆发可能更加集中在战术执行的过程中。对，但是狼队他们每一名选手都有很强的爆发力。是。中路顺爆出来。 Spring 的明居要施压，但是正面的这一个仗确实能够
horrible map pull for this best of 3 though. Yeah, but I think for like it makes it worse. It's sort of like 2 newish teams that are building up their map pool. Split if we get there will be fun. And I kind of feel like Icebox with both of these squads, like especially Wolves, they'll be cooking up some stuff, I'm sure. Like they were running Killjoy Cypher last time that they played.
进攻方的2根半线都拿来去提防对手的 B 区前顶啊。但其实夜路想要去过这个半线不难，这张地图夜路可以从这个 BY 直接放一个不请自来到对面家里的。
没错。第二时间 AG
还要来挑战这把明居吗？
来了。
这个斜向独木其实是拆分点内的，第二时间过点需要交技能。哎，看到是假身了，第二时间海盾，
他们是没有消信无人机，
给过了。
是，还要再来吗
？Is it sent as the third map or is it split?
这个包能器好像是可以成功的安置，但是
Stay by shocked out again from Coldfish and Aluba.
Swanman 完成了找补，后续还有吗？明居现在不太好发挥，他现在还在向后。
I think it's one of those things that like looks very straightforward to do nowadays. But you have to remember that like Wolves is a team that is like made up of individuals from all different squads. I mean, he hasn't planted. This is just saving for Spitfires.
13秒，他只能扛2发身体，但是
don't know why he went for the fight.
奠定了这一分的胜利。
I mean, everybody has to eco anyway, so maybe just saving 1 rifle isn't that worth it. Barman Orbs also. I mean, for Cypher ult.
太夸张了。
赛前对这张图做了很多的战术部署，小技能衔接这张图其实从最早
You also don't want to farm them some ults too.
已经出现过这种技能 combo 了，没有想到微风岛屿也能开发出这么灵活的技能配合。
没错。
Because yeah, like Coldfish almost does another Hunter's Fury. He used it like a round ago.
是抓的就是暗包 timing。
Yeah, having players like on a fresh new team like combining this well. There's teams that have played together for years that can't quite get that combo down.
对，因为狼队已经连拿了4分了，而
And I think all gamers need to be more aware of it. This is interesting, like the harbor wall to try and get through to break the camera.
去打过 B 去啊！
哎，这个也有意思，就
Sneaking into quads. Yu has a flash, has the ult too.
咱就是说这个爆能器是没带的，所以很有。
And you've got like a little crossfire here too. One kill. Spitfires gets close. Plex needs to be very careful here now.
还在架，还在架。
Oh my god, that fight against LB was like probably should have gone down. But nobody's like rotating over to support because of the pressure that's been put in here. I think maybe even the Sova's like not used any utility, but maybe made some noise. But the spike is in their own spawn. All gamers is just mentally trying to mess with Wolves this one.
狼队也意识到了这个 A 区空了很久。
索尔奈跟阿鲁巴一墙之隔跳下来，有弹命吗？两个人在接，
有狙
，Spring 这个明狙这枪空了
，Spring don't peek this with a classic for crying out loud.
还是别掏吧，手枪的话就。
I do like that from all gamers.
一个3打3，主要是他得架住，不能让对面升级枪
That is some big brain shit just to keep the pressure up.
王翔出来，索奈的正义。
I feel like some of the stuff that all gamers are doing in their ecos is better than their full buys.
但索奈这个位置好像走不掉了，他给不了狂烈之怒怎么办？他现在不敢动。
I really like that round actually from
压到 A 场，然后。
但是你看克里斯说：“我来移形换位了。”这个绕后好像没人意识到。
他只有40滴血。
看了一眼，再看
火龙在看，火龙抢到身体了，
秒掉克里斯。还有小型无人机，确定你的位置。
Nice thrifty. Nice round from Spitfires again. Like, I just think he looks so much better on Sentinel. I don't want to see us go to Icebox and he's playing the Rays.
翻盘 AG 打得太漂亮，他们 B 点真的胆子太大了，爆能器都没有带，两个人直接摸进去了。
可以通过 replay 看这一波。首先他在 B 区造出了很大的声势，他这是3人的摸排，诚意非常的足，但是没有想到 A 点才是真正要进的点。
Yeah, I don't know what all gamers have been doing with their time off, but it's got to be aim training because some of these shots that we're seeing out of them are crazy. All right, WOL's with a timeout now. I think they've done well to like bring this map back, but maybe a little bit frustrated that they can't like clean it up on the side that they chose to play. His role was narrate role. You mean Spitfires? So Spitfires. For Rare Atom, the only time that we saw him play was playing Fade on Sunset for Rare Atom. I'm not quite sure what his role is overall, because I could look at VLR, but the problem is I don't think his stats are going to be on VLR outside of like the Fade Sunset, right? Like before, when he was on Rare Atom and stuff like that, I don't think the data is going to be readily available. But like for all gamers, he came in as like the sort of main sentinel, like your Cypher, your Killjoy. Now they've moved him over to Duelist, apart from this map. At least what we've seen so far from all gamers. If we go to Icebox though, we saw Spitfires on Rays, and then we also saw LB on Killjoy. So it's really a case of like, do they keep it that way, or do they keep Delby on the main initiator and Spitfires on the Sentinel? Main Duelist, not initiator. Alright, Wolves timeout. Got all of the Cypher utility over on A. I think maybe the call that came in from Nate and the coach is just that, like, even when they're sort of pushing a lot on B, they are, like, putting pressure over here and then just going A. So moving the Cypher over here, like, full time might be a good shout. Good trades again. Like, we didn't see the fights necessarily. Again, it's like, Wolves get a kill, instantly traded by all gamers. Dimensional Drift to just get the spike over to safety. Coldfish in another... Clutch. He does have the Hunter's Fury. Pings both. He's really trying to cook with these shock darts. I mean, he almost kills Delby too. Really chunks him down. Oh, and he held down. Where's he going to expect this last player? Soul9 has an AWP too. He's trying to play this clutch with an AWP for Christ's sake. And Coldfish just wins. Really nicely done. It's what every Sova hopes for. I mean, also we saw people like CB. Like, this might be just the week of the Sova so far in China, because you got CB performing crazy amounts. And then was it Nick or Shion on the silver on this map? I think it was Shion.
实在你看，
传了之后他主动大拉出来想拿信息，好像
因为他那边没有掩体。
合理。这个残局的
I think LB TPing is fine, but like just peeking out that quickly, just he wasn't expecting people to wrap around that way.
也没捡，不要了。
也行，这一分5个终极技能。
Couple of these post plants for all gamers like have sort of let Wolves in. Wolves have been clutching out post plants when all gamers are really good like early rounds. Gion is on Harbor. He was, but he was on Silver yesterday, I'm pretty sure.
终极技能，其实狂烈之怒可能有一点点着急了。
是
，YU 来了，神鬼不绝。
Like for Breeze, they've gone back to like Silver KO. They don't play Harbor anymore. I'm pretty sure.
不太敢，
这个有点危险，这3条枪线呢。
但看一下2楼 ，Speedfires 是在绕的
That'll be good shots.
这一分有前点信息，但是有人在绕。
Expecting this lurk again. Nerfeft is going to show it too. So let's see what Spitfires actually does here. One ping's shown them. Tries to go for the peak just as the second one goes off instead of beforehand. And again, nice shots. Thing that's been helping Wolves actually bring this half back has been some of these retakes. But outside of what the bonus, we never saw all gamers going B. What did I miss? A lot of Breeze going A rounds, so you didn't miss much.
位置之后，立刻做了盯防，所以上半最后一分也是成功的落入到了狼队的囊中。
狼队通过自己非常极致的运营，他们在上半场最后一分5个重击技能，这个是很少见的。
It's been an interesting watch because it has sort of come down more to just aim duels on the map, which is very China. Like it's not too surprising in that sense.
风格其实是很明确的。
But it is almost kind of like watching them try to do the mind games, like what all gamers did on what was it, round 10, where they like put that pressure towards B with the harbor wall, put Spitfires in a good position and manipulate them out. That's when they look the best. But if they're just going for like a straight A main execute, 5v5, Wolves typically have them beat.
是啊，别玩手机啦，先模仿一下吧啊，错失机会了。是，
我们这个贤者也是这个很考验演技啊，泪眼汪汪啊，
确实。 聊回比赛吧，其实我觉得上半场两边是各有千秋的，但整体比分上看来，狼队会有个小领先。下半场的首枪尤为关键。然后同时
I do like the little masks for Wolves.
是他并非是双决斗。
对，
所以接下来
And I also do wish that like face masks like that didn't become such a like a symbol of like a political symbol when it came to like around the time of like COVID being a thing. Because personally, I think it'd be nice to just feel fine with just putting a mask on and going out, like going for shopping and stuff. Just in those times, it's like I'm traveling for work next week and I don't want to get sick, so I'm going to wear this mask. But you know, people are weird. Like if I'm going to an event like this regularly and I want to be there and watch and I might have to work from there, I'm like wearing a mask.
但首方我觉得雕贝扛狙的
The fact that it's become politically stupid, yeah.
可能使用明狙的不是特别舒服。
I mean, I don't want to go on it about it too much for like Sliggy's like VODs and stuff, but I think it's just a shame, really.
越大对于枪械的要求就越高，那远端能一击毙命的只有明狙。目前看来，除了这种
Because I don't know about you guys, like during those periods where you had to sort of go out and walk with a mask. Not only do I like feel like it helped with not getting sick with COVID, it just helped me not getting sick at all. Like I didn't have as many colds or coughs and stuff. Probably the longest period I've ever had where I haven't got sick with anything. Yeah, some of the drawings and art and stuff is crazy in China. The shame I can't like read it or translate it, but I don't think that that's too much of a big deal. Like it'd be nice, I suppose. But not at all like expected.
而且上半场你看他们这个防守的技能，对吧？舌吻加上雷击剑，这个熟练度真的是拉满了。虽然在昨天的比赛里面我没有看到这样的配合，但是这么直接的拿到击杀的次数是很少的。是，已经3个击杀了，
非常不错。而且其实，在进攻方去手爆能器
I do like the Wolves esports light too. For me, it's just a mask. Sometimes I see people wear now and pretend. Yeah, I mean, when I see it out and about, I'm just like.
阵容上面，两边拿的阵容还是比较常规的，但是像最近的比赛啊，我觉得整个世界赛场。
But it's also because like my partner is immunocompromised.
其实各种各样的阵容都有，包括昨天 Nova 拿的3先锋的阵容。
And I have asthma, so like even getting a small cough is pretty annoying, especially for when this is like what I do as a job.
是双烟双少尉加单决斗。
So
it's generally more like what can I do more to like avoid getting sick.
我甚至已经开始期待哪支队伍会拿一个无烟的阵容啊。
And I imagine in cities like Shanghai where it is like notorious for being quite sort of smoggy. I think as an asthmatic, it's probably wise for me to like go around wearing that as much as possible.
呐喊声也是希望能传到选手的耳底吧，帮他们给他们一些力量。
没错，来看一下下半场的手枪局，狼队5人集结在 A 大的外面，4个人。 这边克里斯是
Straight away, Wolves trying to go for the play.
小春又起了争议，可以看到这张图。
How WOL does it work there? Can't really see. I assume that it's gone over this choke. Flash, you have got a player stuck in it, and they actually wall banged. I think Coldfish through this. I don't think he showed at all.
这个爆能器好像没看到。
哇，这突如其来的前顶。 我们都没意识到，那第二时间爆能
He's got the TP that's gone all the way
这个位
past.
置有点尴尬。
Why use TP to cross?
3个人集结来对枪，一滴血来帮一帮。
LB still fighting.
你说没问题，我来帮。
Is he going to go for the TP? Is he going to be that outrageous? You're in a 5 versus 2? No. Okay, good.
能选出来说明一定是有设计的。首将分也是通过。
This is like actually really good like fundamental stuff from all gamers. Like this strategy we're doing a hard wall and like flashing through. It seems straightforward, but again, for like a relatively new and fresh team to get the timings right on everything, and for Delby to not just overextend and try to fight this too long, it really feels like if someone's like, all right, guys, get out, everybody listens and everybody sort of knows what to be doing. Like, Bunt's in an aggressive spot, but you do have the Cypher to play off of this too, so the trade is instant. Like, man, all gamers are doing so well. Like, I don't think this is like Wolves being bad if they like lose this series. I think it is just like all gamers actually. With the group that they're in, you've got FPX, you've got Trace. Then you've got the likes of Tech, all gamers, Nova. No, you don't have Nova.
重点是他搭配了一个巡敌舰，
重点是人多，对吧？
而且人多，对。
你前点只有一个阿鲁巴，而且被分割了，确实有点难打。
没有起蟒侠，也没有起像数位这样的枪械，而是2把獠犬
，2把
DRG， 这个比较少见啊。
Like all gamers versus like Tech as a playoff position, I think is like the more likely like challenge for 3rd place. Is Breeze defense sided now? We could check the numbers for China. I think that's probably the best thing to do.
狼队是确定了海神在 A 点，我直接来打 B， 因为这张地图双烟啊，特别在防守边，海神对于 A 大的控制
Even globally, I'm not too sure. Let me double check. So I do have the stats available.
有个 debuff 嘛，会减速。
但是 B 点有0怎么办？还有半线。
这是 line up， 感觉是
For Breeze, it was attack sided at Madrid, but overall, I think it's pretty even. Another good bonus, bonus. Round after pistol. We need a name for the round after pistol.
防守边是固若金汤啊 ，A 点有双烟，你在 A 大，你想过 A 大都很难，你别说要进我的宝典了。而 B 点这边是有0在手，配合上一个猎枭，甚至这个锚点是在点后的，它瞬间可以形成一个3B 的防守。
And that's one thing that like Riot, and well, not even Riot, but I think the Valorant community could probably do more of is like getting some good terminology to be using. Because either people use various different things, or like, I think there's content creators that try to create their own like term of phrase.
好像又要犯规了，这次很聪明，让 YU 来了，但是 YU 没有锚点。
Snakemite's good here. Small, nice adjustment for Wolves to like try and deal with what all gamers are trying to do here. But the problem is, it's gonna bake so much like utility and resources that you have on attack to just keep fine for this.
对。中路目前的控制做得还不错，狼队。
Like this is a really good setup and it's a really hard setup to face.
我们看一下双门，同时 B elbow 也在摸。
It's very similar, I suppose, to like Lotus when you have people fighting for like A main on defense.
很精准，掉了个烟，压力有点大了。
A 场可能还有一点小枪的发挥空间。
You also got a TP here of just if there is like a fast execute here, Hero can TP out if they get a bit overwhelmed. But I like the call for all gamers as well to like congregate towards mid now, to clear that, get any late lurks, and then play for the retake more towards B. Like you have a camera that's not been activated, Bunt. Did he just get? How did he get a kill? I don't even see it on the minimap. Just in the choke spraying. Nice fights from Spring. He's been better today. Spikes out in the open. Leave a good fight. Now it's up to Sword 9 with a ghost. And time though is awkward. He's picked up a bulldog. Sorry. Got a plant. There's no fake here. Chuck that. It's not really planted default, which is good from Maluba to avoid that. This is a bonus for all gamers. And they win it.
一滴血都没有掉。 他拿下了这个残局，帮助队伍。
I don't really know what happened with some of the fights over towards here.
是，如果我没有记错的话，他们是没有去补太多枪械的。他只有
Like this killer, they got the first one as they're going on the execute. Is this the one that we see? No.
枪赢下奖励分，那这个情况可就
Literally just spraying and gets Plex.
那这个燎犬是真硬吧？好像比狂徒好使啊。
The spring does well here.
电幻普普永远的神。
OK。
其实电幻普普这个皮肤，它在这个燎犬和
Just time got a little bit low for Wolves and they got comfortable. Oh, his new Sword 9 is good. I mean, it's a hard clutch to win. But I guess when you've got all of this stuff going for you, and it is around that you don't necessarily need to win, pressure's off your shoulders, and you can look fairly comfortable doing it. But again, this is a good performance from Spitfires and Cypher.
狼队压力真的有点大了。哎，中路木门进行了一波
Got some of that pressure over towards B elbow from Plex.
他是雕 B。 并且 A 区后点双烟的防守。
Like for IGL, and this is just hard. Like you're not with the team, not really sure what's going on with these timings.
而且 Spring 在2楼的位置听到了中路你前压的声音啊，2楼是可以听得很清楚的。A 爆点已经进了，空无一人的爆点。
Confidence for all gamers in Delby to be up here, not really worry about mid.
绕后到位了，这波侧身，茂克没有及时反应过
All
来。
right, the shots are hitting.
小白优也是敲掉了 Bounty， 枪械目前还没怎么升级。
看一下 Spring 的位置，但是防守方已经拼他的点了，知道他在那儿。
是的，这个位置是一定要清的，但此时好像神鬼不觉直接步入，并且看到了索奈。
但是他离的位置有点远啊，他在 A 大
Euro just for some bit more information. He's at the double door, but also like him just being in range is just going to keep these players planted.
有点来不及了，感觉要提速了。
A little bit whiffy there to begin with from Spring, but he quickly adjusts.
没办法 ，Spring 已经敲了3个了，4打1了，索奈能转一下吗？转过来2个。
So nine at least getting some more kills, but yeah, good thrifty actually in the end.
又是一口翻盘了。
是。 哇 ，Spring 今天
Calls his IGL decent as well. Yeah, that's probably the better part of him. But I think some of the way that all gamers play around the map, even in kickoff where they lost and went out first, like I was definitely in disagreement with people saying that like all gamers like they look like the worst team in because all gamers finished like the same position as Tyloo, but Tyloo made roster moves, so they were like, oh well, then all gamers surely is going to be like the worst team because Tyloo made upgrades and all gamers have kept the roster the same. But I think that the squad that they put together is actually fantastic. It's just whether they like have the like, build up to it. I think the way that I describe Wolves as a team actually is like vitality in EMEA. But like they haven't picked up the biggest names, but they've got like players that have done well in like tier 2 and like often overlooked. Oh my god, Plex. That's my IGL. I don't think the Spitfires is going to give it to him. And it is an eco ace. But if Wolves can actually start like playing up to this pace a bit more, like if they can start to feel comfortable and like a little bit silly, that only suits them. Yeah, nice ace from Plex.
用一个相当漂亮的 ace 回应了所有的质疑，因为上周的比赛他的状态相当的不好，但是今天他用这个 ace 宣告了他已经回归。
对，虽说是一个 anti eco， 但依旧非常的考验选手的
really good angle to be on. Monk's not really expected him.
夹击的情况，并且远端的那一颗定位可以在下一个家门看
I don't know if he sort of read that.
非常的离谱。
Because, you know, when you're playing up against a Euro, the likeliness of them flashing for a smoke to fight you is good, that they just try to cut it off as it happens.
他把所有人都杀掉了。
是的。 很吓人啊！是由狼队领先 ，AG 也是拥有了。
Mechanically, it was a good ace, but like really good decision making there, especially when you're up against an eco.
已经连续3分对 A 点，特别是 A 大进行一个弱防了。
Because if he dies to like Del B, gives him a gun, could suddenly turn into a very different round.
回防压力会很大。
Is this going to be another case of all gamers like being the better team, leading, and then just dropping off as it gets closer to the end?
但此时狼队也选择放慢了自己的步
伐。Good morning, Kites.
已经摸到了近点，能听到一些回防的脚步的。
DLB 一把民居架在了2楼的位置，配合上一个半线。
Right, what Wolves doing now?
而克里斯其实，在 B 区他几乎没有怎么听到过动静。
Actually, even spring over towards A.
的一个听到回防脚步后转点，并没有这么做。他现在是完全没有得到 B 区点的信息的情况下，姚队友。
Always these kind of runs, so you're not really sure what they're setting up to do necessarily.
想来打 B 点，但是 Spring 离得很远啊。
雕币的狙目前看来
Recon Dad's gonna go in. Actually, no, it's a shock dad to break the aim in choke.
这个位置不能倒，他有大招的。
Clone has hit the second one. And they actually do get Spitfires off the back of it. Recon came in all the way here. Really nice execute from Wolves. Kind of weird to be doing it without the jet, but I mean, it worked. I guess when you have double duelist, you can sort of leave the jet in positions like this. And if Spring's 19 and 12, he's going to be trying to go for duels. You also know that they're saving the operator. Your money is like good enough to chase if you want to. It'll be hard to sort of break past it. Yeah, 10th round for Wolves. And they're seeing if they can like maybe flank around here. Who was the up at the moment still? Delby. He's watching towards bridge. More damage here that Wolves can do the better. I know all gamers know it because they're just completely tucked in.
现在 B 爆点已经完全放空了，没有任何人手抛，就是要缴你的枪，要赶尽杀绝 ，DLB 收掉克里斯这个局应该是保下来了，
对，能保了，能保了。而且
You know where Bonnet is too. So they only get one more gun out of the 3 that still survive. You didn't get the operator. For me, it's dinner time.
这个压力已经比较大，而且这一分他们应该有。
But I kind of like watching China at this time. It's sort of like 11 o'clock in the morning. It's nice.
狼队如此就是有变化的进攻节奏，有点适应不了感觉。
现在最大的问题就是
Because I feel like I have like normal workouts, and also it lines up when like Beth's at work and stuff.
我觉得要考虑让狙
That I can like stream and do stuff then.
他不知道对面的人去哪儿。包括这一分确实也是由狙来架 A 场的。
没错，这一分也是没有叫
There's the poison cloud for trying to cut across the mid.
而狼队几乎每一
I don't know what people really call this position. I know like you know like this is gonna be double doors, but
再
like
通过
this
正面的枪械以及技能去给到一些压力。
gap, I suppose, from the column and then top mid.
这一分 AG A 包点是个重防啊，明狙也在，而 Spring 也是把明狙。
虽然 AG 混起，但是刚刚像上一分我们所说的，中位技能很多。刚刚悬然跳
You
拿
have the
到
op,
信息的。
Stinger, 2 rifles, and a sheriff.
看到海神在 A 点，还要再往前压 ，DLB 有点坐不住
It is
了。
kind of like a buy next to, but still some like money buy ups.
这个位置
Good kill on Coldfish. Powerball used straight away to try and push this out a bit more. YU tries to go for a peek, and then they've just fed 2 kills to the operator. And also, if they do go B now and try to reset, there's a strong chance for some gun upgrades. Like Monk doesn't need it, however. Like it's a shame that you got Spitfires and Sword 9 who are over here when there's 2 rifles on the ground to pick up over on A.
这狙得给一个队友，我觉得应该会给到克里斯吧，但是他给阿鲁巴的话，没人帮他补枪是个问题啊。
但 B 点摄像头已经被
My
打掉
schedule
了
makes no sense when EMEA is on.
而且已经开始摸了。你看 Monk 的位置，但他脸上一个半线，这个很尴尬。
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the EMEA
点内这一波也没
schedule really.
哎，左右丢人，但是 Spring 过来补枪。
But yeah, I'm sort of playing second fiddle to LEC.
雕币能不能抓一下？
对狙。
没狙中。
Which I think is the only region that actually has that. Like for NA, for Americas, it's the opposite.
好在有一个神尾布局。
But LCS is on the weekdays because Americas is on the weekends. Valorant's on the weekends. But like for China, LCK, LPL.
能看到背身。
Oh my god! For crying out loud, Monk.
有克里斯完成了击杀。
That was. I could almost hear Aluba making like the TikTok noise of like, huh?
我其实能理解，
可以理解，真的可以理解，但是啊。
It's like it's not even the full rotate around. It's just a slow look and then oh hello.
他在一大回旋跳被打残了，
是。
再加上他进这个魁父，他犹豫了2秒，又泡了2秒的这个魁父啊。
3 versus 5. Yeah, Wolves did well to like actually like group up and go for this execute.
其实开局 AG 是一个很大的人数优势，狼队是3打5去进的这个 B 区，
Hello.
就那么一点一点，包括残局这一个，我觉得算是小小的一个计算失误，也是让他们成功的赢下了这一分，这是非常长士气的一分。
是。
Wolves
我
win.
觉得说1000道1万，这一分毕竟是 AG 的一个混气局，他们枪械是不太好的。
Yeah, the shot was sick.
还是有机会拿下这一分的
I
情
think
况
this
下。
is kind of a late timeout from all gamers when they've been like battered this hard.
8比11的比分。
是的，
容错率已经比较小了。
目前3分分差
should have better rifle at the other side. Yeah, I tend to agree.
而且目前看来还是那个问题。
You got to remember that like all gamers, like one of their main like priorities, the way that they're playing is fighting for A main.
慢魔抓住了机会，并且把人数扳平。回复展开后发生了一个非常
And if they do go towards B, you have got like good weapons and like some utility to work with.
就是这个背身，它可能代表着可能整体状态上也出现了一些浮动。
而且他们 B 点好像这个门口是没有烟的。
Spring getting the up though and using it on attack is pretty funny. And I mean, you have got the freedom to do it because why you can be that entry. So you can like float around the map and flirt. I got really nervous then when I said it.
雷大顶了，给了一个狂潮，但是 YU 也不管，直接
You can float around the map and just see what you can catch. Because at some point, all gamers, when you only have like one initiator, they're gonna have to like try to push and peek to find info.
是放了一个假的传送啊，因为时间也快到了。做假动静。 一个人往前摸
，AG 能不能找个先行击杀？其实我觉得管道摸牌这一波有机会，然后后续如果能抛一个神经曲系就更舒服了。
半线直接清掉，给你压力。其实 AG 这个回防要打神鬼不绝加上狂烈之怒的技能 combo，但是 DLB 这个位置其实比较危险，不打 combo 直接单来吗？
完了呀，不请自来走了呀！这个距离狂烈之怒很难造出有效的伤害，
这太远了。
那等于说是一个不请自来换你一个终极技能，这肯定是赚的。
对，有点急了。我觉得等到 DLB 一起回防打一个 combo 可能会好一点。
进攻局出枪也是暴露了信息，但是由于 A 区是3人的重防，还要看管道，所以 B 点是一个弱侧，这个弱侧系数会吃到一些压力。
Town today is that Blade Storm use from Spring?
远距离解除
Euro all the way around just gets a kill onto Aluba, so you lose this wall, and they lose him just as Spring is dashed in.
点里人很多，点有2个
And then Spitfire's just having a setup.
收掉2人
，13秒。
I mean, Coldfish is just dueling them one at a time. He's still able to get 2.
时间已经不够了。
You can't get the spike though. You got this flank around from the Euro. There's no time.
是的。
What's money like though for Wolves? Not too shabby.
困难的事情 ，DLB 这一波神鬼不觉得前顶拖到了时间，制造了混乱，并且点内 Spitfire 左右开弓。
You also have the best 7TV emote on Twitch. Of course I do.
虽然说狂烈之怒跟这个神鬼不绝2个技能拆开来用了，但是就结果来看还是好的。
我个人觉得这一分确实是要去投掷的，因为对面一旦拿赛点，自己的心理压力就大了。包括这张地图是 AG 自己的选择，
Good fight from Spitfire though.
走向会非常的难去预测。
对。
Got the up again for Delby.
拿到了这把民居，看一下他架的
They've got that from Spring, probably actually, because he did die here. So they haven't even had to buy up the operator. They just got it from Spring. Euro, fast execute. No cypher utility other than the camera on site though. You got the trip and tunnel and then halls. You got a reckoning on the retake though, and the neural theft if they can get a kill. Most people playing off site. You got the mid control. Well, Plix had mid control, but he gets actually flushed out from these 2.
克里斯是技能很多，有爆拳，有神经曲系。
You got Silver and Viper lineups all the way from here too. Reckoning going to be clearing on site. Euro TPs all the way back behind him. I don't think the TP was spotted, or they don't really expect that he's going to be there in time. Neural Theft is going to give it away. He's whiffed a little bit, but he's not still really aware of it yet. Now he is. The Phantom at this distance from YU is outrageous. Unless Fury gets a kill onto Monk. Did they get half on a defuse? I don't think so. Yeah, because Spitfires is saving. He's running away. In moments like that, because you were watching players like in this position where you can't really hear the timer, like there has to be like UI elements in the future to show how long until the spike explodes or how much of the defuse is on. Like that's the thing that Barracks absolutely needs to add. You actually get to witness Wolves win today. It's only happened once in their history.
AG 这边放点已经放了差不多2次到3次了 ，A 点放过点 ，B 点也放了点。
Yeah, honestly, I have no idea.
纵使他们有比较多的一个
And Wolves taking their time.
还是比较吃力，因为对手其实你
Wolves being on map point are taking this like final timeout.
是。 拿到盘点，狼队也是选择
I
叫
don't
出了
think I hate it, but you are giving all gamers a chance to have a conversation
快
themselves.
速的拿下比赛，同样的，他会给到 AG 一些。
I guess the one thing for like Wolves is like, okay, this is how we like shut it out now, because you don't want it that all gamers go to 10 or go to 11 and then you call a timeout, because all gamers are sort of built up a bit of momentum and they can make a plan.
但是现在对于狼队来说，他这无疑也是一种施压。你会猜我这一个暂停之后啊，我会做怎么样？非常
Like Wolves can talk about what they can do with like the free chances here that they have,
可以看到，不愧是他们的自选组
instead of leaving it too late and then talking about one
模拟
chance.
了很多战术，但是很多时候
There's only so much that all gamers can do
就
of
比
like,
如说他们放一个点去顶另外一个点的时候，正好
we have these ultimates, we can do this.
直接进你放的那个点。
对，
这个其实有一点点的运气的成分在里面啊。
狼队是一套单先锋体系，它的信息更多的时候是靠前点的这种听觉去拿到的。
对，
好的，暂停结束，回到比赛。现在狼队手握3个盘点 ，AG 是一个混起的情况。
Right, Viper's pitting A main. Recon
直接
is
展开回复，而且旁边
nice and close, and everybody else is just going to back up because of
有人
it.
在摸，
哇，又打得很凶，这是个 fake，A 点是个 fake， 做了非常
Rush
大
right
的
out
动
in the
静，
corner and then just TPs out.
看人的一瞬间
It's a nice fake, but you've still got like a lot of control here with a Viper wall and then a trip and a camera.
又是来打 B 点，这次 DLP 的明狙是在的。
Euroclone's already been used as well, so you don't really have the thing to get past it. But it is in a position that you should see it pretty early on. If it isn't for Delby just peeking.
半线没有处理掉，同时绕中的速度有点偏慢，而且
Recon dart is used. The trip is still up. Delby turning and getting one before he's traded though. Spidey senses were very much tingling.
哎呀，没接住。
So they got one trip, not really looking towards Monkey Tunnel. The Viper wall just giving him a little bit of a break at a moment, but 2 versus 2.
没什么信息，知道蝰蛇在 A
Goldfish having all of the utility. They're planting and playing for backside.
冷鱼的技能是
It's a nice adjustment, because you don't know if they're going to be flanking you at all, but you know that Monk's playing from here.
这边技能很多，
不用猜了，已经看到一个了。
而且还有巡敌舰，他再顺便再看一下 P 大的位置。
是
Monk not showing is really nice.
他的身位控制是不错的。第二时间巡敌舰
What's
来
that
看，
recon early? Does that get a
这一
ping?
其实我个人觉得还是不是很
No
但巡敌舰他也躲了
The，Goldfish is still
菲是还是有意识
aware of it.
架住
Yeah, good read. And then Spring just keep backing out, keep buying time.
Spring 选择放过去，听到大脚步拉出来。
Good timing for the peak. All right, Wolves win finally. 39.
完成了司机的壮举。
Sort of felt again like for all gamers, they start out the better team of the better ideas, but just as the halves seem to go on, Wolves are really good at making the adjustments that they need to.
在对手的自选图上，今天可以看出来他们在赛前的准备。
What's the command again? I think it is just
他们在防守
Wolves.
边，我们看到
Might
那
be
个
TMB
手稳加上雷击剑的非常精妙的一个组合，起到了很好的效果。而且上半场一度
But
他们是
actually, yeah,
1比4的一个开
fantastic
局
map from
但是
Wolves.
他们连拿了4分。
Kept the same comp, moved the rolls around,
能力也是相当不错的，
and
包括
all gamers
克里斯的一个回归。
pretty
虽然对手可能是
tricky
个
spot
本地
now.
但
You
是
do go to Icebox next, which is a map that you do also like to play alongside,
而且我
like
听
the
说
pick
他
of
受伤应该
Breeze.
是生病了。那今天他
But I'm curious to see what Wolves are going to cook up on this map.
证明了自己，并且狼队在这张地图的整体发挥是非常亮
I
眼
wonder
的。
why AG is struggling so bad. Is it their IGL? I mean, I don't think that they're struggling, honestly. I think that it's just
岛屿两边真的可以说是棋逢对手啊，两边安排的。
Wolves are a little bit more flashy, I think, on their attack.
说的 AG 的很多战术其实有被狼队所
And like all gamers just need a bit of time to like build everything up to a point. But you can't say that they weren't good enough to win this map. They absolutely were. It's
知道了爆能器，那你防守方就是
more of like Spring showing up massively with the operator when it
拆
mattered.
这个爆能器。
是的，我们其实能。
And I guess just Wolves having the better like mental, I suppose, to be down what like 4-1, 5-1, well 4-1, 4-2,
战术打夹击完
and
成
then they win that half 7-5.
双烟确实很克制。
But you also got to look at like all gamers won both pistols and then won a bonus and then they still
进
lost.
攻局也没什么效果，但是当 Spring 换起他的步枪，
Both plans on attack were a little bit rough too, and then defense was like
因为赛前我们也聊到
okay.
过 Spring
I think they just weren't adjusting around the map nearly as quickly as Wolves were. That'd be my guess, I'd say.